Okay, so it has been a long time coming pulling this video together. One, because I recently took everything off the homeschool room bookshelf and reorganized it. I actually hired a mother's helper to come and watch the kids so that I could focus and actually get it done, which went super well. And two, because I was trying to do it sometime during the daylight, while the kids were occupied, which doesn't usually happen. So, Minnie's Boutique is currently babysitting with Gemma so that I could jump on and do this. So this is kind of a little preview of everything that I used for kindergarten for my Max this year. So I'm just going to walk you through so you could get a visual of what some of this stuff looks like, and I'll say if I loved it or not. So what he did for math is we started with Singapore math, and it's just a 2-book A and then B. It was fine. There was nothing I almost said there's nothing good about it, there's nothing bad about it. It was fine. It did the job. I did like that it spent quite a few pages on each topic that was covered. But with that said, we didn't love it enough that we're going to stick with it next year. So, he did finish all of this up. He finished up kindergarten by, I think, February, so we moved on to the first grade A book, and this fit him just till the end of the year. So we did this till just this last week. He finished up his math. So Singapore math is what we did. It's a cheap curriculum, and it did the job. Like, it gave him the practice he needed with kindergarten topics. But next year we're going to try Mammoth math. I flipped through one of the workbooks at a curriculum fair, and I think it just looks a little more up his alley. So it feels right now like every year is a new year of homeschooling because I'm still relatively new to this. We just finished year 3 of me being a homeschool mom. So I'm still finding out what we like. And then every kid's different too. So Gemma did a Becca for kindergarten. So next year's Mammoth math. Okay, moving on to language arts. I've got my little cheat sheet back here, so I make sure to cover everything that I'm actually typing down below. Okay, here's the best thing. I didn't grab this. This is what I used to teach Max to read, and it worked. He learned to read, like I taught a kid to read. I did not teach Gemma to read. Gemma taught herself to read, so this was something new for me. This book currently sold has a different cover, so don't be confused by that. It still has the same title though, Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. It's by Siegfried Engelmann. So this is the book you're looking for. It is unique. It is not how we as adults, or I guess how I learned how to read. So you're kind of, I'm trying to think of a good example. See how so when they're learning a sock, they make the K little so that the kid knows they're sounding out sock. Is this making sense? And then they pronounce the as the. So you get a long E so that they're learning it is phonetically the right word. I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of theory and a pronunciation guide in the front. I might have skipped over that and just gone straight to the lessons and just tried to teach them as we go. Might have not been my smoothest move. But I will definitely use this when it comes time for Read to learn how to read. When my Read becomes a reader. So that was a win. We also did Explode the Code, which is A, B, and I don't know where C went. A, B, and C are for kindergarten. It's get ready for the code, get set for the code, and go for the code is what this is called. And this is a combination, I would say, of phonics and handwriting. So you're doing here's the letter M. Now then it has you do pencil work so that you're learning to flow as you write. Then you're doing letter identification. Then you're playing this little game where the mom reads a little riddle almost, and then they circle or color or do what it says. And then you're writing it. This was great. This would have been good for us to do when he was 5. This was too easy for him and fell into the busy work category. And with him, I have to be very strategic about avoiding that. So we did not go on to C. We did A and B, and then I told the gal that we work with through our parent partnership program that we wouldn't be finishing C, that it was not worth the fuss and the busy work. So I do like Explode the Code, though. I just think that he was more advanced in his reading and he knew all his letters, he knew all his sounds, so it was better use of our time to focus on reading and practicing that skill versus like going backwards and reviewing letters. So might do Explode the Code with read, maybe when he's more like pre-K. We'll see. Okay, this is what I do love. I am a huge Handwriting Without Tears fan. I'm trying to see which one we started with here. Here we go. This is kind of fun to see. So we went through 4 books this year. I don't know if you're supposed to go through that many, but I was having him do 1 or 2 handwriting pages a day, and I'm kind of a handwriting person. Like, I want my kids to have nice, neat handwriting. Is it judgy to say that I think it says something about a person if their handwriting's neat or not? I feel like it's like a conscientious skill. It's something that takes practice, and since it's a form of communication, it's important to do a good job at it. That's my loose thoughts on handwriting. So, this is cool to me. I believe, I'm trying to get the order here. This is the order. So look, here he writes his name, Max Bossio, I think this is the first one we started with. All capitals and whatever. He got the spelling, so he did it. Good job. Then I believe we went on to my printing book, and he just did Max. But he had his little A and a little X with a capital M, so that was some improvement. Then we went on to, he did these 2 simultaneously. Would you look at this? Ooh. Right capitals, all that sort of stuff. And then there was a little extra workbook, Kickstart Kindergarten. I do not know where these fell. This one comes as an add-on to one of these. So my first school book is Coloring, Drawing, Counting, Writing, and School Readiness. Yeah, we started with this one. This one, look, they're like doing big letters, big letters, big letters. Almost back to that letter identification thing. I think this is why we went through so many, because he flew through this one. Then we went on to my printing book, and it is introducing letters with coordinating words. And then, I think then we did Kickstart Kindergarten. I wasn't thrilled with his handwriting at the beginning of this year, so I think that's why we did that first one. I should really be better at writing stuff down, because then I would remember. So then by this point, it's looking like this. And then, this one might be the first grade. Letters and numbers for me. But for this guy, I'll just show you by the end of it. It includes numbers are in here too. Then it has, oh, no it doesn't. I mixed this up somehow then. This one must have been this is the last one we did with just Max. So we went from this one to then this one. Sorry, I'm spending too much time on handwriting. But then here's like his final letters, uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. And I realize that that's backwards for you, sorry. Just wanted to kind of give the progression of like, this is all we did. Like I would say sit down, I would show it to him, focus on this, and then we worked through those. So a lot of headway when it came to handwriting this year. Okay, what was I going to talk about next? Explode the Code, handwriting. Science and social studies, I honestly don't have a lot to share because I don't have an example of the little pamphlets that we did and I didn't like them. So, moving on from there, if you have a science or social studies program that you really enjoy, I would love to hear about it. I did get The Good and the Beautiful. We'll give you a free download for a packet, I think of your first one, or is it a sample one? I think it let me pick, because I picked marine biology, because we were doing some ocean stuff with our co-op, and then I didn't get around to fitting it in. So I've got a whole packet of marine biology from The Good and the Beautiful printed out that we might go back to and try sometime. If I was trying to choose a science right now, that is where I would go. Okay, Bible. I didn't grab this either. This is what we spent most of the year on for Bible. I didn't think we would spend the whole year on it, but we did because we liked it. And so we just kind of went slow and steady, and we had some really good conversations about it, and I learned a ton. And my favorite stuff with homeschooling is when I also get to learn with them. I honestly don't love teaching to read. Like, now that I've taught a kid to read, I'm like, go me! I taught a kid to read. I can do this. The handwriting stuff, that's just like, roll your eyes, kind of like meticulous, but that's where it takes my patience to homeschool. This kind of stuff is what I love, where it's like, yeah, I could probably give you a handful of God's names, maybe what they mean, but I definitely don't know 26 different names, and I don't know the scripture that goes along with them. Anyways, this was a very, like, kid-friendly, there's a picture, there was a little, like, intro, you know, catcher, and then it would go on to explain the name. So I really liked this, and if you need a bedtime storybook, like devotional, or something that you want to use, like, more curriculum-based, I recommend this God's Names a lot. I also down below have tagged some of the other things that we dabbled in from the library. The Ology, Ancient Truths Ever New, Indescribable 100 Devotions for Kids About God and Science. We just started that this month, but they're really liking that one. And then Love Does for Kids. They got that in their Easter basket, and so we've been reading that one, and it's a good one. It's good as well. In regard to, like, we don't do workbook pages with Bible. We use it more as, like, we're going to read this together, we're going to talk about it together, we're going to pray together, and we're going to memorize scripture together. That's Bible for us these days. What else do I have in this pile? Oh, this is more Gemma stuff, so that is going to go into a different video. So there is kindergarten. Really straight and simple. Like, kindergarten kids don't need a lot of stuff. They need to be outside. They need to be doing crafts and, like, creating stuff. We loved doing some art classes throughout school. It's hard to come up with ideas, and it's overwhelming to just go to Pinterest and be all like, kid crafts. And then, like, oh, do I have the right supplies? I loved using OutSchool for art. And I've got them listed up on my blog under the, if you click the deals tab, I believe there's a link to get $20, a $20 credit towards your first class there. So Max loved taking some of those. He took a Star Wars one, a robot one, a Pete the Cat one, a Dr. Seuss one. So those have all been winners. And, oh, the last thing I was going to mention. I don't know if this comes in kindergarten math. I happen to have this one. It says for 6 and 7-year-olds. This was like a fun little extra. This was like his bonus that he would get excited to use. Oh, yeah, I lie. Here on the back, it comes in preschool, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade is what all of these come in. So, he thought it was fun to do Star Wars math sometimes as well. And the other thing that he really enjoyed was doing learning games on a website called ABCYA, abcya.com, and that's free. It's kind of, we've never subscribed to ABC Mouse, but I get the gist that it's kind of the same, but ABCYA is free. So there you go. That is kindergarten, and I will link through to 2nd grade stuff in case that interests you as well.